Something huge seems to be happening with the money of Americans. I am going to show you extracts from a video by Redacted. The video is about the central bank digital currency in the US, CBDC, to be rolled out in a few days. I want to add that we have a global power which is a corporate disguised as a nation. The people are the workers, the government is the management. The shareholders behind are the decision makers. We must understand the goal of a corporate is profits for the shareholders, never for the workers. Now the corporate is in gigantic financial troubles, owing the rest of the world and the workers hundreds of trillions of dollars, including pensions and bonds, that they can't repay. The management realize the workers are locked with the corporate for life, cannot go anywhere. And they have loads of money sitting in the banking system, which is collapsing and needs a reset. The corporate can do pretty much anything to the system and the workers, like meat on the cutting board. We could see private assets nationalized and mandatory investment in government bonds soon. You never know. Please comment, like, share and subscribe to all videos of my channel by clicking the bell.
The Federal Reserve is about to completely alter how you use money in the United States. Why is no one covering this story? They're focused on Donald Trump, literally ignoring one of the biggest stories in America right now. We're going to get to that part of the story in a moment, how the monetary policy will shift, the monetary system will shift in the United States. But first, something odd is happening in the United States and to the US dollar that's in your pocket right now. It's quickly becoming worthless. And not just in terms of inflation and buying power, but try to pay for something with United States paper currency in your pocket, and you will now be met with resistance. You'll be told, hey, we don't accept paper cash anymore. We don't accept your coins. We don't accept cash at all. We're digital now. That's exactly what's happening. Take the U.S. National Park. U.S. National Parks, yes, places that you drive your RV to and hitch up overnight. You'll now find that these U.S. government parks will no longer accept cash. This is just the first of many government offices, government buildings, government installations that you'll now not be able to pay cash. The cost of going cashless, this article says, and Frommer's, as U.S. national parks, as many switch to plastic only, digital. Here's how Frommer's describes it. So far in 2023, Badlands National Park in South Dakota, Crater National Park in Oregon, Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore in Michigan have all transitioned to fee systems that only allow credit card, debit card, and mobile payments. And Washington State's Mount Rainier National Park set to follow suit in May of this year. On Monday, the Federal Reserve, led by Jerome Powell, issued a press release declaring the launch of the new U.S. digital dollar, which is coming in July fully, but it rolls out next week, so about 3 days. So get ready, it's happening. Here's what they're planning and how they describe it from the Federal Reserve. The Fed Now service will provide individuals and businesses the ability to send and receive instant payments through the Federal Reserve FedLine network at any time of day, 7 days a week. Recipients of payments using FedLine or FedNow will have immediate full access to funds which enable greater flexibility, they say, and opportunity for immediate use of money sent and received. In April, the Federal Reserve will begin certifying participants so that they can be fully set up when the launch occurs. So again, starting next week, those institutions will be prepared to send live transactions through the system. But next week, it officially starts, this rollout. The first week of April.
Now we have somebody in the chat who just said we're being fear mongers. I would like to point out that at least 11 countries in recent history have gone bankrupt and dipped into citizens' private retirement accounts in order to bail themselves out. Ireland, Hungary, Argentina, the list goes on. Cyprus. I can name at least 11 of them.
Greece.
So if you want to call us a fear monger, that's fine. But then I hope you're not too surprised because we have over, I think it's getting close to $33 trillion in debt at this moment. Is it 35, 33?
30, yeah, it was like 33 last week. It's probably 34.
And so, You know, and there are talks, for instance, but politicians have been discussing forcing private retirement accounts into buying government bonds or treasuries. So not only would they be able to dip into your account, they would force what you use it for. Politicians actually have been talking about it. It's not my idea. I am afraid of it, but I'm not fear-mongering by making it up.
Yeah,
so take that back.
But also, yeah, take it back. But also, by educating you, I don't know how that's fear-inducing. Like, what we're telling you is what's not being reported at all in the mainstream media. They're ignoring this story. And then you saw what happened with Silicon Valley Bank 2 weeks ago, right? Where people woke up and they suddenly lost all their money. Well, it's called the bail-in process, guys. I did a whole segment on the bail-in process about 2 months ago here on the show. Bail-in versus bailouts. And I featured Cyprus at length, and I went through what happened in Cyprus. It's not fantasy. They did it to 11 countries. Do you guys trust the politicians? Do you guys trust Washington? This is what Natalie just said, but I specifically focused on Cyprus and how the government announced, we're going to use your money to fix the problem. We're going to bail in, not bail out. We're going to take the money that's already been deposited and use that to cover the debts. So it's happened. Catherine Austin Fitts, who's a brilliant, brilliant woman, recently described what going cashless would do to all of us. Watch.
So, Tucker, the one of the bedrocks of freedom is freedom to do financial transactions, including privately, or freedom to do where you want to do and wherever you want to do. And unfortunately, as the financial system has become more and more digital, you see more and more not only invasive surveillance, but more and more controls. You referred to Canada, perfect example. And the reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate. It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom. And we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on. The important thing to understand is central bank digital currencies are not currencies. It gives the ability for the central bankers, and they've said this publicly, the ability to not only set the rules centrally, but enforce the rules centrally. If you don't behave, you can have your money turned off.
The most interesting outcome of the three-day summit between Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping got limited media attention. Describing their talks, Putin said, "We are in favor of using the Chinese yuan for settlements between Russia and the countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America." So, the world's second largest economy and its largest energy exporter are together actively trying to dent the dollar's dominance as the anchor of the international financial system. Will they succeed? The dollar is America's last surviving superpower. It gives Washington unrivaled economic and political muscle. It can slap sanctions on countries unilaterally, which frees that country out of large parts of the world economy. And Washington can spend freely, certain that its debt will be bought up by the rest of the world.
Yeah. So as Monica Crowley points out, well, first of all, Peter Schiff then tweeted this. He just said the petrodollar's days are numbered. China will not likely be paying for Saudi oil in US dollars. So we are seeing sort of the final throes of what was once a powerful reserve currency. What does a digital version of this portend?
I mean, that hegemony, though, obtained by cheating. We went over that earlier this week. If you roll back the tape and watch our history lesson on that, it was not like we earned it. So, and many of you in the chat said, well, that serves you right.
Karma, many of you said, yeah.
Okay, but that doesn't mean it's going to feel good on the rest of us because we're sort of used to living this way and we're going to have to get creative.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how it hits us. I mean, but here's what Monica Crowley, she puts a pin in it by saying this is the end of the US dollar as we know it. Watch.
The fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the US dollar.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think about all these at the comments below. Like, share and subscribe to all videos of my channel by clicking the bell. Thank you.